First thing we're gonna be reacting to. We're gonna be watching every terrifying addiction in 12 minutes. Let's just go, chat. Let's just go.
Gambling addiction is one of the fastest ways somebody can ruin their life. Gambling stimulates the brain with the anticipation and thrill of winning big, while occasionally giving you small wins which are designed to trick your brain into never wanting to quit playing.
Wow.
After all,
I gotta get a napkin. Give me a second. My bad, chat. I had to get some napkins, you know? Anyways, here we go. My bad for stalling, y'all. Let's go.
99% of gamblers quit right before winning big, right? Not to mention, because of how prevalent online gambling has become, as opposed to going to a casino, it's not that uncommon for many people, including children, to fall into this intelligently designed trap.
I fell for it on Roblox, bro.
Significant debt, strained relationships, and loss of employment. Between 1 to 3% of adults worldwide suffer from gambling addiction. Internet addiction. Internet addiction.
I know I got this.
Certain worldwide illness.
Nah, everybody got this right now. Almost everybody got this, bro.
That happened a few years ago, but the truth is, internet addiction has always existed and been a problem for people who don't touch enough grass. In fact, you're probably addicted to the internet right now if you're watching this, and you should definitely log off for the day, after finishing this video and subscribing, of course. In all seriousness,
whole generation got this, yep. For sure. But if you got it, if you're watching this, you should log off after we finish stream, you know what I'm saying? Anyways.
The internet is full of thousands of activities like social media, online video games, and general web browsing, all of which infect our minds and feed us that cheap dopamine we desire, while also offering us an escape from our otherwise miserable lives. This escapism, however, is not good, because internet addiction quickly spirals into depression, rapidly increases our anxiety and irritability, and overall leads to a major sense of unfulfillment, which can be soul-crushing. Weed addiction. What, bro?
Be honest with this chat. Y'all got this?
I swear it's not addictive, dude. I can quit whenever I want. Yeah, that's right. I can already hear the comments after mentioning this one. For whatever reason, very few people who smoke weed actually want to admit how addictive it is. But for everyone else, this is an obvious fact.
Yep.
While marijuana may not be chemically addictive, it is still both physically and psychologically addictive, meaning that people who use it regularly have an extremely hard time getting off of it. Weed smokers also build a tolerance to the drug, so they need to smoke more weed over time to feel that same level of high that they're used to.
Dang. It's like alcohol.
This creates a self-perpetuating problem, where they need to smoke weed more than before, but they feel less high than before, and the more weed they smoke, the harder it is to quit. And when they finally do stop, they experience painful withdrawal symptoms that can cause rapid mood swings, difficulty sleeping, no appetite, restlessness, and an intense desire to start smoking.
Like, if it's not addictive, then how do you get withdrawals when you're trying to quit it, you know? It's kind of stupid how people say things.
Weed again so they can feel normal again. Long-term weed use can also lead you to neglecting your basic adult responsibilities. It can gradually change your behavior, making you feel complacent and lazy, and cause paranoia and anxiety disorders that you previously weren't used to feeling. Alcohol addiction. Alcohol is one of the most common addictions, especially due to how easily obtainable it is.
On top of that, people normalize it. People are normalizing it even though it's not really like that cool. People don't really like it. They just do it just to do it, you know? I know people online that are saying that it tastes bad, it burns. It's not even worth it because you feel terrible the next morning, but they keep on doing it because it is an addiction, you know?
Alcohol is used for many reasons. It can be used socially at parties or alone for people who want escapism. Like with weed, alcoholics build a tolerance to their drinking over time, requiring more liquor to achieve the level of drunkenness they desire. Alcohol can also become physically addictive, as the more you drink, the more your body expects it. If you suffer from this addiction and choose to stop drinking, you will experience a variety of withdrawal symptoms that range in severity. including anxiety and shakiness,
You can
all the way
die
to
too.
seizures and hallucinations. An estimated 4.5 million people in the US aged 12 and older suffer from alcoholism.
12 and older? So like 12 minimum. No, that's insane. Bro, who is drinking at 12 years old? Like, be honest with me. Who is going 12 pack by 12 pack at 12 years old? You're literally squaring
Caffeine.
yourself, bro.
Okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this addiction. Next one.
Caffeine addiction is a thing, but it's harmful to you mentally because then you'll feel tired the next morning. You'll need caffeine to feel less tired, and you're gonna be like an eternal cycle of tiredness. The only good time to drink caffeine is at noon, not when you wake up, but at noon.
One, please. Self-harm addiction. Self-harm is a very unfortunate addiction that some people are drawn to because it can trigger the release of endorphins, which are natural painkillers in the brain, creating a sense of euphoria and relief that can relieve intense emotional pain, stress, and numbness. The repetitive cycle of behavior that many self-harmers get stuck in can become ritualistic, providing a sense of control and predictability in an otherwise chaotic mental state.
Pause the video, little bro. You got a story. I'm not a little bro. Anyways, what's your story? Bro, type it out. You got 20 seconds. 20. 19. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. Somebody at your school, you seen them wearing a skirt and it was cut all over her legs. You gotta realize it's not something that you really should shame. And their arms. They get embarrassed over it, okay? It's like they purposely wear long sleeve stuff even in high temperature weather. So people don't see it and judge them. But it's really something terrible that people do go over. People do suffer through. And if you see them like that, you should honestly like talk to them. Just be honest. If you're not like a weirdo, it's like never mind. If you see somebody like that, she don't care, she wears it out. I don't know why. It's not really something you should really get embarrassed over if you conquered it, you know? You're not shaming her though, and you're not talking to her. Okay, it's chill. But I'm just saying it in general. My camera's off. There we go. I'm just saying it in general. Just give them the benefit of the doubt because they're going through something. They could have gone through something crazy before and they're over it, or they're going through something crazy currently.
Of self-harm can be cutting, burning, self-hitting, scratching, carving words or symbols into the skin,
Carving is crazy.
hair pulling, or ingesting toxic substances. Food addiction. Food addiction, it takes form.
Oh, carving. You know, there's like groups on the dark net that make you like carve their symbol into your skin, so you can like get into their group and stuff. It's weird.
In many different ways and
Weird
for different
stuff.
reasons. Some people eat
Food addiction. I love food, bro. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's such a good food.
That can help calm them
There's
down
if you eat too much, there's no too much of anything is not good.
In America, many people are addicted to fast food because it's specifically designed to be as addictive as possible.
I hate fast food. No, there's this one time I was like at a hotel, like because I was moving, and the only thing we had to eat was fast food for 14 days, 2 weeks. Let me tell you, by the 4th day, I was literally feeling like I was gonna throw up. Fast food is not tasty long term, at all. It's tasty like for the first few seconds, first day or two. But then after that, you get sick of it and you feel disgusted, you know? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Not filling you up, making you more likely to order 2 burgers instead of 1, or to come back sooner. The most addictive foods are sugary foods, fatty foods, salty foods, and foods that are highly processed. Sex addiction. Sex
Pause.
addiction is an obsession someone has with thinking about or performing sexual activities, to the point where it's destructive to their daily life and their relationships with other people and women. It causes you to have persistent and intrusive thoughts, fantasies, and urges that are almost uncontrollable, and they can happen at any time of the day, anywhere. It's caused by many different factors, such as chemical imbalances in the brain, trauma, abuse, low self-esteem issues, loneliness, a need for validation, or even changing societal attitudes towards sex and just how often we are exposed to it in the current day. Speaking of which, this addiction is strongly related to pee addiction. Pee addiction has existed for quite some time, but today's version of it is especially
Too
extreme,
much.
given how much the internet has aided in the
The
explosion
thing
of the
about
pee
it, little
industry.
kids now are
Experts
getting it
believe
too.
that pee activates the same pleasure circuits in the brain as heroin, which is one of the most addictive drugs out there. Here are some insane facts. 40 million Americans regularly visit pee sites. 35% of all internet downloads are pee.
Dang,
And 34% of
35?
internet users have experienced unwanted exposure to pee, largely due to the fact that it's being posted everywhere, even on websites that ban it. Pee Hub.
Anyways, like I was on, like when when y'all be scrolling through Twitter and you just see the craziest thing and you don't want to see it and it just keeps on coming up. That's exactly what they're doing. Twitter, Instagram.
By
Sorry.
offering a more personalized experience tailored to a specific individual's cravings. OnlyFans is also an alluring deal for young women, because it presents them with the idea that they will make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for minimal or easy work. Meanwhile, the negatives and the great personal, though phone addiction has some overlap with the previously discussed addiction, as well as the aforementioned internet addiction, it's still worth discussing on its own, because an astonishing 3.8 billion people, or 48% of the world, are addicted to their phones. It's hard to blame anyone who's
Chat, I'm not. I can leave my phone in the room all day and I won't get nervous at all or anxious. I just gotta know where it is because it's not something I want to lose. What about y'all? Y'all think you're all addicted? Like, the only reason why I use my phone is because I really have nothing else to do. But when I do have something else to do, I just leave it alone, you know?
who suffers with phone addiction, because unlike the other addictions discussed so far, phone addiction is almost required in today's day and age, as it's how you connect with your friends, family, coworkers, business associates, and it's what you use to gather the news and figure out what's going on in the world and what people around you are talking about. Phone addiction is heavily tied to the mental health epidemic that younger generations have been struggling with, as the constant exposure to
social media,
idealized portrayals of other people's lives
crazy, bro,
lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Phone addiction also leads to reduced productivity, as more people are busy scrolling instead of working or self-improvement.
I don't think I'm addicted, but I do use it too much. Are you doing it instead of doing other stuff? Because if you are, then you kind of are addicted, you know? I only really use my phone when I'm finished with everything throughout the whole entire day. Or if I'm curating ideas, you know? Anyways. Social media, bro. Social media is crazy. Like when you be saying like 16-year-olds, multi-millionaires, y'all be feeling like, me included. I feel like I've not done enough. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You haven't done enough when you're like, and you're scrolling through. You see an 18-year-old that made 10 million in clothes. It really hurts your brain. It could push you to do better, but overall, it's negative and a positive. But mostly negative towards most people. Yeah, you feel me.
The harsh blue lights that phones emit can cause sleep disruption. Phones can...
The blue light, bro, that's why I got... Okay, my phone might look orange. I have my screen pulled up. The blue light, I got like the night light on. If y'all turn the night light on and keep it on 24/7, it's not gonna mess with you sleeping. Just giving you a tip, you know? It's a quick tip for y'all.
Can decrease face-to-face interaction and quality time with friends and family. They can cause a decreased attention
span. Bro, I hate when I be like hanging out with friends at school and stuff, or even after school,
predators taking
and they're just on their phone,
the
and it's just annoying.
Apps that they use. Spending addiction. Spending addiction isn't talked about as
this is the worst addiction, bro.
But it's a very common
one of the bad ones, yeah.
That affects 5 to 8% of the global population. Spending addiction is the compulsive urge to shop and spend money, and is caused by various mental health issues, low self-esteem, or need for approval.
I don't like that nightlight. It looks yellow.
Has also contributed to this.
It's because it like got rid of all the blue light.
Are designed to grasp your attention and emotionally manipulate you into wanting a new product. Some people are more susceptible to advertising than others, and other people struggle with understanding how to manage their money. This, combined with a lack of self-control, can
No,
cause a disastrous
I've
personal
been
life
looking
for
at
someone that
clothing
is
and
addicted
fashion
to
stuff, and I
nicotine
just
and
want to get
gum.
my. I see like a
Nicotine and
Balenciaga
tobacco
shorts, and now
addiction.
I want
The
it. You
World
know,
Health
but then after a
Organization
bit, I just
reports
forget
there
about it
are
and don't
over
want it.
1 billion smokers worldwide,
Dang,
800 million
1 billion.
men and 200 million women. While older generations prefer cigarettes, vaping and e-cigarettes have captured the youth today, and in general, vaping provides a much more convenient way to consume nicotine, as it can be done anywhere,
L
and you can
vaping,
hit the
bro.
pendulum as much as you like. Nicotine in
No, I
particular
be
is
seeing some
highly
middle
addictive.
schoolers
It doesn't
hit the
intoxicate you like
pendulum. You know,
marijuana, alcohol, or other
they
drugs,
be saying,
meaning it can be done very easily without disrupting your
"Let's hit,
day-to-day
shall we?"
tasks.
And then they take a
Tobacco,
hit.
on the other hand, is the leading cause of preventable deaths globally, causing 8 million deaths a year from lung cancer,
Oh
heart
wow,
disease, strokes, and other illnesses.
that's a
Meth
lot.
addiction. Meth is a drug that increases your energy, alertness, and sense of euphoria. It can lead to a heavy increase in physical activity, while also giving you a strong sense of pleasure in the process. Of course, meth is also ridiculously dangerous, having an
Mm-hmm.
incredibly high rate of addictiveness, absolutely destroying your teeth and gums, causing extreme weight loss, having horrible skin sores and infections throughout your body, and causing long-term cognitive decline and memory loss. Just to name a very small amount of the downsides. Seriously, don't do meth. Or any drug for that matter. Except caffeine. Cocaine addiction.
Bro, you know what this reminds me of? This low-key reminds me of the young ATL people in ATL, bro. They be hitting whippets like it's their vape. The thing about whippets, aka N2O, aka nitrous oxide, aka nitrous, aka the thing they use to speed up your car, aka the thing they use in whipped cream, aka the thing they use for. Also known as Nas, Whippet, H2O. I mean, what? No. Anyways, let me stop blabbering, rambling, you know? Anyways, the thing about it, they be on it too much. And the thing about whippets, right, you breathe it in. It goes through your whole entire system. It goes up to your brain since when you breathe in, oxygen goes throughout your whole entire body, goes up to your brain, and flushes out the carbon dioxide, right? So essentially with whippets, right, the nitrous, it goes through your brain. It will literally rot your brain long term, slowly, ever slowly. That's the thing what's happening with Kanye right now. My bad. He's literally has like a dentist that's supplying with him like an illegal amount, like illegally supplying him with nitrous oxide 24/7. And if he doesn't get off of it right now, Kanye will literally won't be able to release any music and stuff. Uzi on the same thing too. Uzi is also on Whippets right now, and he's been releasing the worst music of his life so far
Cocaine is a drug
in
that
a long
produces
time.
extremely similar effects to meth, with almost all of the same downsides as well, if not more. It's just as dangerous. However, cocaine is more associated with causing cardiovascular issues on top of everything else. The effects of cocaine also last much shorter than meth, meaning that more of it has to be used to stay high for longer.
It's also like
Cocaine
really
also has
expensive
dangerous
too.
permanent effects on people's
And
behavior
like,
and thinking
and like,
patterns, even long after quitting it. Former or current coke users often have a heightened view of themselves and their own importance, believing themselves to be gods, and they have a difficult time talking to or relating to other people. Heroin addiction. Heroin is considered by many to be the most dangerous drug of all time. It provides the
fentanyl.
strongest sense of delusional euphoria the first time someone uses it, but that feeling is never felt again. Still, people that do heroin continue to use it, in the hopes that they will feel just as good as that first time, which never happens. This is called chasing the dragon, and it's a dangerous psychological trap that is very difficult to break away from. The other reason heroin is considered to be the most dangerous drug is due to its incredibly strong and nightmarish withdrawal symptoms. These symptoms include the most extreme versions
Pain,
of pain,
nausea,
nausea,
vomiting, diarrhea, and
and cravings for more
cravings.
heroin than someone can ever feel. And many who have gone through these withdrawals describe it as what hell must genuinely feel like. Xanax addiction. Xanax is a commonly prescribed medication in
This
the
is a
United
mint.
States and many other countries that is used for treating anxiety.
This is
It's an
educational, by the
incredibly
way.
strong and effective
Y'all
medication,
don't do
but
any of
some
these
could argue that
addictions,
maybe
okay?
it's a little too strong. Many people who are prescribed it can't get off of it, and like heroin, the withdrawal symptoms are very bad and potentially deadly, depending on how much Xanax someone has taken. Xanax was one of the most frequently prescribed benzodiazepines. In 2019, there were about 17 million prescriptions for Xanax just in the US alone. Opioid addiction. You may have heard of the opioid epidemic in America. This term refers to the widespread misuse of both prescription and non-prescription opioid drugs,
I see.
which are pain-relieving medications often used during surgeries, or to address general chronic or cancer-related pain, or pain caused by severe injuries. The overprescription of these drugs has caused an astronomical amount of overdose deaths. 70,000 people died this way in 2020.
Dang. Bro. Twitch. Yo, chat, don't use any drugs, okay? Trust me, it's not worth it in the end. It's better to be sober. I know it. You think straight. No addictions is good.